Definitely a good thing to remember when my phone made that alert this morning with the great shakeout. I made sure to find my safe space, know where that was, and then headed outdoors a little bit later on to enjoy the great sunshine. So here's what we're seeing outside right now from 805 webcams. A couple of rowers making their way onto the bay. The sunset just about to happen. Honestly, just picture perfect conditions across the region. It is a little bit gusty though. That is still something that we're continuing to monitor as we head into the evening hours. That's kind of our headline for the maybe not so great conditions today. Everything else though, looking perfect out there. Right now starting to cool down, but it was pretty warm earlier on today. Most communities in the mid to upper 70s. Right now 60s for most. 64 in Paso Robles and San Ynez, 63 in Santa Maria and Lompoc, 69 in Isla Vista, 66 in Santa Barbara, some of those 50s in interiors. The one place that's not in the 60s or 50s is San Luis Obispo, and that's actually because it's very windy. That compressional heating still taking place, and that's keeping us a little bit warmer, at least for the next couple of hours. You can see that on this graphic, 30 miles an hour with those winds right now. Critically, some of that wind is actually coming in off the Cuesta Ridge, compressing down into the lower elevations into San Luis Obispo, and as that compresses, it heats up the air, and that's why we're staying nice and warm, at least at this point. It'll cool down later on tonight. That's going to be joining in with some of these winds just off our shores, going from the north to the south. Definitely just a gusty one across the central coast right now. The good news is that they're staying below advisory level criteria. So if wind gusts upwards of 45 miles an hour are expected, then we see advisories. We're not going to get to that point, but it is still quite breezy out there at this point. Now that's going to be kind of one of the major things we're seeing over the next few days. Then it's just going to be a lot of sunshine and great conditions. Got two high pressure systems that have filled in that little void left by our last big storm system. That's going to continue for the next few days. A little bit of cloud cover is going to linger into the region from some storms up north, but none of the major concerns with that are expected. We've got warm weather and lots of sunshine on the way. Here's a quick look at your forecast for your Friday. 80 degrees up in Paso Robles, 79 in San Luis Obispo, 78 for both Santa Maria and Lompoc, 76 in Santa Barbara. Along our north coast, comfortable as well. Cambria at 68, 79 in San Miguel, 74 in Morro Bay, 78 in Avila Beach. A perfect beach day out there. Great conditions to enjoy it. Guadalupe at 76, 75 in Shannon, 71 in Pismo Beach, and along our south coast, very comfortable as well. Goleta at 76, 82 in both San Ynez and Solvang, 77 degrees in Orchid. So Friday's going to be really nice. Then as we head into the weekend, picture perfect once again. Staying nice and clear, even down by our beaches. They're going to be in the mid 60s for Saturday and Sunday, 70s in our coastal valleys, 80s in the interiors. Pretty typical forecast out there. Very much that typical Central Coast microclimate all the way through the weekend. Then we'll see a slight cool down into next week. Here's your 7-day forecast, staying in the 80s for Paso Robles all the way through Tuesday, upper 70s for the weekend in San Luis Obispo, then falling into the low 70s by Wednesday and Thursday, falling into the 70s in Paso Robles as well. Santa Maria and Santa Barbara staying in the 70s for the most part all the way through the extended forecast. Plenty of sunshine. One small cold front's going to make its way through the region on Sunday, help cool us down and bring us a little bit of cloud cover. But on the whole, it is going to be a picture perfect forecast for all of our communities, not just this weekend, but through next week as well.